didn't realize it was actually the 13th when I did this. I had to think of something quick. For those of you who don't know or aren't aware, I subscribe to the Bryan Danielson in the Ropes rule of new TV shows. Some of you wrestling fans would know the I have till 5 is the direct quote for that. So what that means is you have till 5 episodes on any television show to get me remotely interested. Safe to say this segment would never exist if I didn't get super on board. Hell, I went back and actually watched the movies to kind of prep. Yeah, I did this first and then the other one second. I'm like, you know what? If we're doing this, gotta run it back. Anyway, with that said, here's my review of the second half of Season 1 of Cobra Kai. Episode 6, Quiver. We get a 3-part dictionary entry for that word. Verb, tremble or shake at a rapid motion. Noun, a slight trembling movement or sound, especially caused by fear. Quiver. And then an obsolete noun, a group of cobras. Even Johnny flashback and young boy riding a bicycle, getting his first glimpse, like, oh wow, that's Cobra Kai. Actually lays eyes on the dojo for the first time, and there's like motorcycles outside, so might be training more than just kids and teenagers, John Kreese. But yeah, cut to current Johnny, who at the end of the last episode just got himself a whole class of possible students now. Time to weed out the weak with the verbal taunting. Sam getting more taunting and bullying of her own over social media. Asked to do some karate, she's not really in the mood. Daniel can't get wifey or gamer son Antonio in either. Well, Antonio turns out was conceived via karate with the missus. A little too much mercy in that dojo, in my opinion. Robbie trying to be a little more responsible with his new job. His freeloader friends kind of wondered, why the LaRusso gig? He's all, my dad hates this guy. He'll flip if he sees me working for him. I warned you last episode about Dimitri's insufferableness. It kind of starts here, and then just starts to snowball. He's full-on privilege here. Like, don't you know? Trust only your fist. Police will never help you. Gets judo flipped by Johnny for his trouble. When Sensei asks, throw down. Throw a punch. Back at school, he's all, I don't need karate. He insulted me, beat me up, and took my money. That's what hookers do. He at least hanging around with Miguel keeps Kyler away from him, so right now I guess he's okay with the association. Yeah, the whole school saw him get worked over. Maybe Sam might need to body check her so-called friends. Probably would if the Kyler back in episode 5 had Miguel not shown up to defend her. Then we'd have Daniel trying to damage control explain, Miyagi-Do's for defense. When hype kids show up, he's like, hey, can you teach us all this stuff? Like, oh man. Sam even getting a blow pop stuck on her sweater shoulder. Because of the implied fellatio she was rumored to have on Kyler. Dimitri explaining the fucking joke. Yasmin could have shown up and punched Dimitri in the face and they'd make best character for this latter half of season 1. Sam has no lab partner, so here's Miguel striking first, and they get to meeting. Robbie on some bad information from Amouche and Cousin Louie decides to start up a car in a showroom. Boom. I was like, startle some of the patrons. Daniel's quick to temper. What the hell are you doing? He does run out after an embarrassed Robbie and tries to calm the situation. Quick to anger, but always quick to right the wrong. That hasn't changed in the movies. While Sam is thankful for the fight, even saying Miguel telegraphed that last swoop. Karateka's gonna karateka. Johnny got some quitters, and Eli runs out too after getting called Lip due to his surgical scar for a cleft lip. It's like, you don't want to be called Lip, you gotta flip the script a little bit. Get an eye patch or something. Miguel's a little bit miffed at Johnny for chasing away students and his friends. Yeah, no Eli or Dimitri now. Saying, you don't know what it's like to be us. Flashback reveals, yeah, he does. Young Johnny's all excited about the karate he saw. He's like, oh, Mom. Hey. She's super supportive. Married into a new stepdad, Sid, who comes home from work. I think she wanted to give Johnny the things she didn't have. That's what he explains later. But says like, oh, you karate, you shrimpy little outcast. You ain't got a single friend. Using his old Sony Walkman to block out. Oh, the Walkman gets lore. Oh my god. Makes you feel a little bit more about Johnny when he almost like gets it wet or whatever. I'm like, damn. But yeah, using that Walkman to block out his mom and stepdad's arguing in a flashback at the dinner table. Like, between Sid and Cruz, no wonder Johnny's skewed. No bad student, just bad teachers. Robbie, in the meantime, has been apologized to by Cousin Louie. Gets another errand to run. Some reports right back to Dan. I was like, you want to schmooze? You want to get good with the boss? That sort of thing. It's on the desk in an envelope. Just make sure he gets it. Turns out to be a skinny mag. Yeah, fool me once, Robbie, you know. It says more about Cousin Louie than him, though. Family hires never work out. But as long as you're here at the House of LaRusso, maybe you... It's like, oh, he's going to get some karate learning. Okay. Daniel LaRusso's got a student. Johnny back at the dojo reveals the truth that he used to be a loser like them, but like a cobra, I shed that loser's skin and became badass. Apparently so did Eli. Enter Hawk. Can't do the... Good to see Johnny with a smile on his face and get another like true disciple as we close that episode into episode 7, All Valley. LaRusso teaching his new protege the wax on, wax off, and all that in the auto dealership. Even some new ones involving stuff like pull the flag, push the push broom with the old Butch Crane music. Johnny gets got a dojo full of flinchers, so he gets Aisha, punch them all in the face. Can't be badasses without being fearful of taking a shot, yeah. Walk in any fight, you can't be afraid to take a hit. Thankfully, Johnny not like a monster and just caveman to realize, you know, because Miguel's talking to him about Sam. He's trying to get some advice. It's like, cobras don't take no for an answer. And it's like, what if, it's like, if things get physical, then no means no. But I'm talking about in wooing and pursuing. You're just asking her out. Don't take no for an answer. All chicks want to date Cobra Kais. Robbie gets asked by his loser friends, Trey and Cruz, to help steal auto parts at the LaRusso. They want the security code. Robbie says, I don't even know it. And they think they gotta give Robbie some pain if he doesn't go through with this plan. Miguel, on Johnny's advice, tries to ask Sam on a date. She's on break after the whole Kyler situation, of course. So Miguel flips the script and says, you know, it could just be two of us hanging out. Not a date. Put her it is and seal the deal. Hawk gets tatted. Big fucking... I don't think it's completely finished yet, but man, that reveal, I'm like, damn, he just super embraced Johnny's teachings, who is very upset because he just learned, he was thinking about that new All Valley tournament, but there's a lifetime ban on Cobra Kai due to third movie events. Mm-hmm. Miguel mentions not to take no for an answer. There's got to be some way to fight to right this wrong. Robbie earlier did get a copy of the passcode Wifey LaRusso entered. For Miguel's not date, Johnny suggests the old golfing stuff that Daniel and Allie used to go on their first movie. Like doing all the same stuff. Strike first, strike hard. That's not just karate, that's life. Meanwhile, Johnny shows up for these... what seems like ineffectual sounding dojo attendants trying to change the logo colors. Daniel just so happens to be part of this, arriving just in time to ensure that the Cobra Kai band stays. So Robbie's got the code, his friends show up, he's like, I can't give you the code. Actually, it's a matter of I won't give the code. Face turn. So he fights off Trey and Cruz for a little while, the latter of whom shaved that skeezy porn stash off. You know, Johnny made a comment about it in an earlier episode, and I guess he took that one to heart. Points out during the 2-on-1, hey, you jumped me first. You jumped an employee, and we got you on camera. So they bail. Back to the hearing. They've got footage from the third movie, shots of the blatant BS that went down due to Silver, Creeks, and Barnes in the third movie. The lifetime ban stands, but are willing to hear Johnny out. Johnny explains, I don't know who Silver or Barnes is, but I'm not Cruz. My late sensei. Daniel's like, oh, really? Because again, that's something, that shit he pulled with LaRusso in the third movie, so he is adamantly refusing. Johnny and Cobra Kai are going to be a bad influence and bring dishonor to the All Valley if we let him back in. Johnny says, my Cobra Kai's different. I'm not Chris. I teach kids to stand up for themselves, feel like they belong and won't get pushed around anymore. Cobra Kai is making a difference in these kids' lives. And honestly, my life as well. Most of the board is moved by a very teary, impassioned speech from Johnny. Now Sam flips the script on their actual date. She's like, oh yeah. Strikes first, kissing Miguel. While a stressed out Daniel is the first to tell Johnny, waiting outside for the decision. 3-2, Cobra Kai's in. Episode 8, Molting. Now that he's in, Johnny's got to really pour it on his students to make sure they're ready for All Valley. To be ready, you need to give me better than your best. So I'm going to put you through the worst. Are you losers? No, sensei. Are you nerds? No, sensei. Are you sure? No, sensei. Oh, the hell training montage begins. Step through old tires, walk a plank over a dumpster of broken glass, running from attack dogs? Hey, Ma LaRusso, she shows up for the, taking the full side of Daniel on the Cobra Kai's. Nothing but bad news. You seeing what happened in the first movie? Sam's all, they can't be all bad, right? I think she knows maybe Aisha's in, that maybe she knows Miguel is too, that sort of thing. Daniel's like, oh, trust me, they're nothing but trouble. Don't get involved with any of the kids that learn from that school. Johnny finds out the girl Miguel took out. He's like, he remembers like, oh, the hug at the dealership and then the hit and run. You're dating a LaRusso? Time to talk history. Dutch, a big Mr. T fan, throwing milk duds at a Rocky 3 movie screening. The girls get so pissed one starts yelling. And that's when Johnny met Allie. Dated for 2 years till the summer of senior year. Got into an argument. Mentions Daniel in a less than accurate light. The flashback does not gloss over. Well, they don't show him breaking Allie's radio, which starts the whole thing, attacking Daniel first. Johnny goes on saying, I lost the tournament and Allie. You gotta watch for those LaRussos, man. Their family, which is in an uproar because, as suspected, Cousin Louie was Ma's idea. It's like, oh, he met these bikers? That can't be good. He's like, what? Daniel's all, what have I told you about using my name to make a deal? And he's like, why? Johnny getting invited to dinner with Miguel's family for the work he's put in to help him out. Man, I love these banana slices, Carmen tells him. They're called plantains. Caveman Johnny strikes again, saying, in English we call them bananas. They don't even taste the same, my dude! Plantains are like a blander candied yam in my opinion. They eat they're just very rough like a yam kinda. They're like less like banana. I had plantain chips that really waxy. Sam over a phone call trying to talk Miguel out of Cobra Kai. Okay, so she does know. He's all, I can't do that to Sensei Lawrence. We get a little history with Carmen now, having to move around quite a bit. She fell for a real scumbag and got pregnant at 18 with Miguel, had to ditch husband and move from Ecuador to the States. Robbie meets with Sam for the first time as they head to a spot of just all Mother Nature with Daniel, more training. But yeah, the talk with Carmen says, new beginnings and that sort of thing. Gotta make things right. It incentivizes Johnny to fix up and modernize his apartment a little bit with his own flat screen TV, where he watching Iron Eagle. Hawk trying the milk dud tactic himself. Either Miguel told Hawk what Johnny told him, or this was a funny callback, and he just happened to get the idea himself. But yeah, he's talking with Aisha and Miguel about Sam. Miguel very astute, thinking, I ain't never gonna have a thing with Sam. Now that I know she's a LaRusso and all the mess that took place back in movie 1 between Sam's dad and my sensei, I've known LaRusso since I was a kid. He's good people. He's just irreparably damaged by movie 1 and 3. Hawk even suggests just go over to the house and ask her out right then and there. Super alpha move. This whole time, Robbie's been out training in the woods with Daniel, spending the whole day out in the woods, really trying to teach balance. At one point, Daniel's trying to see if he can do the final technique Miyagi ever taught him, this handstand on one hand, which frees both legs for like a massive kick. Daniel says, I've only been able to do it once in my 20s, so might be a technique he or someone else gets to bust out later in the series. Johnny, on his continuing rehabilitation path, visits Sid to give him his money back and take off, saying, I never needed your money, it was just the one thing you had worth giving. Miguel does arrive just outside the LaRussos to see, Robbie's been invited to dinner. She's like, oh no, she's hanging out with a cool new friend. Keep bringing that back. Johnny writing a letter to Robbie to schmooze that over as well. Here's something shatter. Oh, Cousin Louie with his cool new friends, the bikers they mentioned, torching Johnny's car. Revenge for besmirching a name. Johnny karates a rain check and gets the info of where the LaRusso's house is. Johnny Lawrence on a motorbike. Episode 9, different but same. Robbie at the skate park, he's able to, after a couple tries, do that little handstand of his. He's like, everybody learns out quick here in Encino. Must be the oxygen or something. Johnny shows up for breakfast at the LaRussos. Wifey makes sure that happens before an actual fight starts up. Good on you. Miguel trying to figure out, what happened last night with the dinner, talking to Sam, but not letting too much on. Little Antonio and Johnny. My dad could have killed you, I'd have killed him first. I'll tell my dad you said that. Good, because I want him to know. Wife talks Daniel, get him a new car. Yasmin, the blonde plastic, posted something mean about Aisha breaking a board at Cobra Kai and posting it. Hawk saw, we should kidnap her and get my friend to tattoo the word bitch on her face. Demetrius like, okay, cool it, Hawk. Okay, I hear how you're saying it, and I don't like it. Dimitri is right to tell Miguel to be cool. Sam's giving you no reason to doubt her, even if Yasmin's queen biatch. Aisha's plan, we're going to crash this thing. We're going to get there first. Strike first. Planning a party at the this valley or canyon of someplace. Well, the cool parties, I guess. So we'll get there first and head her off. Amanda eventually does hear of the hit and run to dinner with Johnny. It's like, Sam never mentioned that. Ground Sam and do text her. No smartwatch, phone, or laptop for hiding this. Johnny gets his new car. Time for a test drive. Male bonding over some REO Speedwagon. It's like, we're getting our first glimpse into hey, we're not so different, you and I. That sort of thing. They head into the old Rasuda apartments. Hey, at least it's got water. They cleaned the pool for it, at least. Walter Hawkman with the fake ID. Back at that old, I guess it's not really a gas station. No one really gets gas if it's just a strip mall. It's just, It's one of those stores that also sells booze. It's probably what it is. Convenience store. I bought this with a fake ID. My name was Brian McGee. Gotta get booze for the party while Miguel has trouble getting Sam to answer the phone she doesn't have access to, but you don't know that. You think she's blowing him off. She gets a quick peek to see a party go down. Oh, she wants in. More male bonding with both Daniel and Johnny, finding karate senseis that were more like father figures, except for, Kreese breaking the trophy and tried to kill Johnny. Something he even brings up. Robbie overhears Sam's a prisoner, so he fakes a leg injury to get her out of the house. And does I'm doing reports, so drive him home and then come straight back. And then he unveils his, totally fine leg. Let's make for that party. Daniel and Johnny bonds more over Allie. Dan through Facebook knows, she's married to this oncologist in Denver, Allie Mills Schwarber now. Meanwhile at the party, Hawk is macking it with the other plastic, the hippie named Moon who pretty much ditched her bestie. And Hawk gets all, it's more than the new haircut and the tattoo, it's the attitude, just live in the moment. Dimitri's that's the most McConaughey thing I've ever heard. I was waiting for Hawk to go, all right. Oh my god. It gets Dimitri maybe some confidence, all Mr. Pibbed up to try and chat up a really salty Yasmin storming off. You were nothing, like, storming off and lets the party crash and Aisha have it. Even using the word fugly to describe her. It's like, oh, we all know who you really are before it. Yeah. Calls for Moon to leave with it. It's like, no, I'm staying. I apologize to Aisha already. You should too, Yaz. Face turn! Yaz is like, well, fine, I'm leaving on my own. Shoves Aisha, who responds with a wedgie. No mercy, bitch! Had Yasmin followed Kyler's advice, a seared super clear of Miguel. We saw more of that, too. You just Kyler, Brooks, and the two plastics. Brooks is like the heavier guy, who's usually part of Miguel's, Kyler's. I keep saying Miguel. They arrived early to see, like, Miguel by himself, like, already deep in the drinking. And he's like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should find it. I say Miguel because he's boozing at having had his text no answered all day. And then just sees Sam arrive with Robbie and drunkenly assumes the worst. Shoves Robbie, he gets dared to try it again as he gets up, and shoves Sam down by accident, who was just trying to break things up. And now Sam is all, my dad was right, Cobra Kai's no good. Good luck with the tournament, I won't be there. And storms off with Robbie. Also loaded, Daniel and Johnny is like, you know what, we're gonna Rocky 3 the ending this next fight. Nope, you and me. out in the family dojo in the backyard. They both come home to see Robbie right there. So the reveal happens, Johnny thinking, oh, is this some sick joke? Shoves Daniel. Like training my kid, not even telling me? Daniel knew nothing of his last name, so already the two are at it again. Robbie did originally go to hurt Dad, but I think that went away after a while. Daniel pissed off now at getting shoved by an irate Johnny who storms out, thinks Robbie lied to him, set him up, saying, I don't want to see you again, not this house, not that dealership, ever. Just in time for the season finale, episode 10, Mercy. I want it all, I want it all, I want it all, and I want it now. Dun, dun. I made the Brian McGee joke earlier, not realizing the next episode gets him Queen. I stayed up listening to Queen. Tournament prep is underway. One of Cobra Kai's students, little glasses kid, Bert. Like, I saw a super drunk Johnny piss all over the new LaRusso car yet, screaming, you wanna be his dad? Fine. We're all gonna die! So Hawk thinks, should fight without him. Johnny's, fight without who? I may lose, but I don't run from a fight. I got one more lesson to teach y'all before we sign up for this tournament. The third rule of Cobra Kai. No mercy. Life's not fair. Just when you think things are going good, life throws a spinning heel kick and shits in your mouth. Life shows no mercy, and neither should we. We're Cobra Kai. Let's go kick the shit out of everybody. Amanda trying to buck up Sam and Daniel, both feeling betrayed after last episode. It's like, oh, you can't let that stop you. LaRusso Auto's repping this thing. One of the big sponsors. At least one of us has to be there. I don't want to go by myself and get intimidated by karate moms. You know how they are. So Sam and Daniel get to talking. It's like, it would do good for you to be there. It's like, it gets you out of the house, maybe. Yeah. In so many words, this and that. It's like, I'll go if you will. So that sort of talk each other into it. Topanga karate? Ooh. Cobra Kai in the black and gold, baby. Could we give any more PTSD flashbacks for Mr. LaRusso? Robbie Keane on his own, unaffiliated, and competing as well. Miguel making things personal through the climbing up the brackets with a crane kick. Aisha with a sweep, Hawk with a Roman Reigns-esque Superman punch out of nowhere, just BAM! Showing off the back tat, he does he moves the shoulder blades so the wings flat. Moon's just like, oh my god. To me, just like, I can't believe this works. Moon is enamored. I love you. Xander Stone of Topanga Karate eliminates Aisha out of the semi. She's pissed off. Pissed at getting swooped herself. As Sam tries to make amends, and they do reconcile. So again, like father, like son, they do realize to try to make things right. So we got our 4 finalists: Hawk, Miguel, Robbie, Xander. Xander Stone, the former champ from Topanga Karate. So much for keeping that new rule, the champ only fighting once. Stone gives this long speech. It's like, let's all hang our heads. Whole inclusion speech, this and that. And Johnny tells Diaz, kick him in the face. He definitely does that, so he beats the former champion. Amanda mentions to Daniel, so Robbie lied. He wouldn't be fighting his dad's students if either Robbie or Johnny were in on that. Daniel finally chirps up and goes, remember what you learned, Robbie. Robbie's in with Hawk. The latter, after a point, strikes Robbie from behind after some words exchanged. So yeah, blatant DQ. Like, you're not doing Johnny any favors there, Hawk. We just got this place re-enlisted and you're going to pull this shit. So yeah, Johnny rightfully pissed. Hawk saw, don't want to be pussies, right? Daniel finds Robbie in the back of the gym area. You know, me and Johnny have our issues. They shouldn't be yours. Robbie even apologizes for lying, said that he initially did want to get back at his dad. Daniel says, you can't let bad blood change who you are. You ain't gotta like him. I know I don't. But he's still your dad. He just went on the wrong path because of his sensei. You don't have to do the same. And Daniel can do the Miyagi hand thing? Yeah, it's all... Medic! Was he warming up his hands? Was it cold in there? Brilliant tease, though. Miguel sees Sam and tries to apologize. Sam's all, oh, what, for hitting me? You should be hitting anybody. You can't act like a normal person? Miguel's all, you gotta strike first. You can't let the enemy win. Sam's all, yeah, okay, you're crazy and I'm done. Miguel's full on antag now. He's like, yo, what should I do to that guy Robbie you brought in? No, she's poosing out with her mom and little bro. It's like, I can Uber if you want. And mother sensing daughter's distress. She's like, no, I can drive you, come on. Little Antonio's like, it was just starting to get good. It's like, oh, so now you're interested in karate. Final match, Miguel Diaz versus Robbie Keane, unaffiliated. Daniel LaRusso's gonna coach? Daniel LaRusso's gonna coach! Callback after callback. I'm eating good this episode. And Robbie does the handstand kick. He could never do it. He could only do that one time, but Robbie nails it to even things up 2-2. Tries to show some some good sportsmanship, and Miguel just yanks the bad arm. Damn. Johnny tells Miguel, you ain't got to fight dirty to win. Really doesn't want to be another Chris. Miguel's all, winning's not dirty. You taught me that. No mercy. Oh, no. You know, the old PSA, you alright? I learned it by watching you. Senseis who Cobra Kai have students who Cobra Kai. No mercy. Gets the win on another shot to the weakened arm. Opens up the chest, bam. Johnny, the only Cobra Kai that's uncelebratory. Had to watch his student beat on his son to win. Not in the clean way either. Sam back at the house decides to start taking up that karate again after hearing what Aisha said that, we could use more ladies on the karate scene. Daniel, meanwhile, does not want to see Cobra Kai take over the valley, driving Robbie home with a second place trophy. So, opts to open the Miyagi-Do Karate Dojo, show him a different way, a better path. And meanwhile, Johnny gets a surprise visitor. Everybody closed the book on us. Thought we were done. But the real story's only just begun. John Cruz! Still not fucking dead. And that's how we close season 1. If I were to give each season a theme, this season's new beginnings, old mistakes. Cobra Kai's majority of students were the runts of the litter, but now they dropped the T and run the litter. But to Johnny, he unknowingly pushed the more negative aspects, the creasier aspects of the 3 rules of Cobra Kai. Like he's really trying to like, I'm not crazy. I'm really trying to teach these kids like how not to get picked on anymore. But now they're hunted have become the hunters. Daniel letting his anger and rage in the meanwhile that, well founded, does put him in a bad light at times and exacerbates situations more than remedies them. Yeah, I'm still a little bit salty at Daniel last couple of episodes for the Zakarian shit, like doubling the rent on the strip mall just to undo one dojo. He's trying to right the wrong, at least in these later episodes, and keep Robbie from going it alone or going down the path that Johnny had. Like, even saying, like, you don't have to dodge don't have to take on his aspects. You don't have to like him. I don't, but you don't want to go down this road. Which I think even he regrets. He doesn't say all that, but I think somewhere deep down, Daniel's starting to understand Johnny a little bit better. Or at least I think in a way where he wouldn't have talked to Robbie the way that he did after that reveal or something like that. And Amanda kind of rights the wrong. So, yeah. As I go to best character, speaking of Amanda, way to keep your house in order, LaRusso. Getting a shine a bit here and there. Robbie trying to make good. Moon's face turn gets a nod too. But yeah, Amanda convincing Daniel in her own way to not give up on Robbie. Oh, the announcer for the tournament, he was on the committee, is like, we need to change the pads blue and yellow. Come showtime, did some digging. His name's Daryl, and true. Everybody loves a hype man announcer, and this guy delivers. Like Cobra Kai, a badass name for a dojo. It's karate time. He clearly comes from a love of the sport or something. Like this felt like hey, you see the pad? You see the blue and gold? What'd I tell you? Like, this feels like this is his baby, and he's, like, very proud to show it off. Like, okay. Seeing Johnny smile and start to get his act together in this. Like, if I had to choose one, like, it's hard to choose one. There's a couple people can get in here, but I want to give Johnny a go, too. I was worried he'd go off the deep end with the LaRusso. He's been teaching Robbie, pissed on his own car that he got from LaRusso Auto, but he comes back, he's like, oh, I'm sober, I'm vented. Let's go finish this tournament thing. I ain't abandoning you now. He saw it through. He didn't give up. And that's the true making of that no mercy badassery that he preaches as sensei. He practices what he preached. He lives the Cobra Kai way, which hurts that much harder when I gotta put Miguel in worst. Like I said, the bully does become the bully, wanting to win at any cost. Hawk exhibits this behavior too, but it's gotta break Johnny's heart to just witness. Now shit, I become the thing I tried to avoid. Now my star pupil, I feel like I failed, and he just struck first on my son Robbie. I had a hand in this. This is my fault. And then Daniel rubs it in his face a little bit with the congratulations, not really knowing the full aspect, but yeah. Comes full circle the fear when Kreese himself shows up to close out the season. That's just how great this series is when you can see the hopeful zero to hero story in Miguel, and then just... I put him in best for the first half of the season. Now, becoming kind of first movie Johnny with the anger and the striking first, you know. The badassery that isn't tempered with, in a way. It's like an unsheathed sword, basically. It just cuts whatever. Johnny not wanting to see another movie one Johnny because he knows where that led him almost. Even he made amends at the end of the movie. He was like, you're in this, you're all right, man. When he could have sucker punched him at the end too, or something like that. Power on, just a lot of the this and that from the stuff I really liked. A lot of the good callbacks. The medic and Daniel LaRusso's gonna coach. Seeing Aisha get some measure of revenge on Men Plastic. Now she's with the cool new friends and even reconciling with Sam. Like, she's Cobra Kai, but she hasn't fully had her reasons for Yasmin. Get some much needed revenge, but gotta end it there. She didn't go all karate on her. Like she's at least not fully exhibiting the behavior, but deeper in, she got her friend back. She got Sam back and is even all. Not saying you gotta be in Cobra Kai, but you doing karate again would be dope. But yeah, with the blue mats, the medic, and the Daniel LaRusso's gonna coach thing, that was like a legit laugh out loud moment twice in the last episode. I'm like, oh my god, I love this. Power off, I was seething in episode 6, Dimitri. This whole time I'm like, you're gonna get your ass kicked. You're gonna get your ass kicked. You're gonna get your ass kicked. Why are you still talking? Oh, you got judo flipped. You got off light. Even Miguel looking up at the sky like, Lord, this shepherd has tried so hard to caution this boy. Dimitri just finding the biggest, sharpest, most fucked up branch to poke the bear with. And I remember season 2 was free on YouTube for a while to really celebrate season 1's success, so I binged all that in one day, and I know this kid does it again! But with that said, that will do for this review. Look forward to next week, more with season 2 of Cobra Kai. Until next, karate time!